Premier League. Hence the signings this week of promising 20-year-old David Graham from Rangers and the Brazilian Adino on a 3-month loan from Bradford City. Both are handed their debuts, and with Andy Smith around as well, manager Bert Payton is obviously going to go for it. Former Aston Villa and Barnsley keeper Lee Butler stays in goal, even though Ian Westwater has recovered from ligament damage. Ipswich fans will remember Gavin Johnson. He spent most of his career at Portman Road.
Well, it's a big night for these Dunfermline players, Ian, and I'm looking forward to seeing this guy here, Adino. He comes with a big reputation from Bradford, and he's going to sit in just behind Andy Smith here. And David Graham, number 22, the signing from Rangers, will run off Andy Smith. I'm sure Andy will play right down the middle. Graham will run off him, and those three will look to provide the goals to get Dunfermline off the foot of the table.
Well, rest assured that Dundee United are going for it as well. There's a new look, and a pretty useful look, to their forward line this season, with Alex Maffey arriving from Ipswich to partner Billy Dodds, signed from Aberdeen, and of course Shell Olafsson can be a bit of a goal machine as well. At the back, Maurice Malpas is still going strong, very strong at 36. He really has been in excellent form this season, picking up a number of Man of the Match awards. Another defender, Darren Patterson, will link up with the Northern Ireland squad after this game, but his fellow countryman Ian Jenkins is still out injured. Keeper Sieb Dijkstra hasn't missed a match since joining from Queen's Park Rangers 2 years ago.
Well, once again, Paul Sturrock will play the 5 at the back, and the ever-reliable Maurice Malpas will be at the core of that defence to keep it nice and tight tonight. But as you said earlier on, it's these three guys up here, Maffey, Dodds and Olafsson, that will cause all the problems for Dunfermline. Maffey and Olafsson will play a wee bit wider, but rest assured when that ball's in the box, they'll be in there to finish them off.
Well, the points are precious tonight, and both sets of supporters will be hoping that it's their team who get the 3 on offer. Both these sides flirted with relegation last season, and they would quite like to avoid a repeat of that this season. Thank you very much. Dunfermline in their black and white stripes, captained by Andy Smith, who scored 23 goals last season, only 4 so far this term. Maurice Malpas is making his 588th league appearance for Dundee United today. The cup price admission of £5 for adults and kids for £1, boosting the attendance here at East End Park tonight, hence a slight delay to the kickoff. And the fans get their first sight of the two teams. The Scotland manager Craig Brown has tipped David Graham as a star of the future, but the arrival of Stefan Givash at Rangers pushed him further down the strikers' queue at Ibrox, so the virtual guarantee of first-team football persuaded this talented 20-year-old to join Dunfermline on Friday. Brazilian Adino was joint top scorer for Bradford last season with 11 goals, but he's hardly figured for them since the arrival of Lee Mills and Isaiah Rankin at Valley Parade. He hasn't started a game since the opening day of the season. His loan period from Bradford is 3 months. He was previously with Vitória Guimarães in Portugal. Like Adino, Alex Maffey failed to make an impact in the first division of the Nationwide League this season. He was kept on Ipswich's bench by the form of David Johnson and Jamie Scowcroft. Maffey received hundreds of letters from Ipswich fans sorry to see him leave. He's forming a new partnership up front with Billy Dodds, Scotland's hero in last month's Euro 2000 qualifiers, and he's done pretty well for his new club since hitting a hat-trick on his full debut after moving from Aberdeen. Not bad for starters. With so much striking talent on show, maybe Dunfermline and Dundee United won't be the lowest scoring teams in the Scottish Premier League for much longer. John Rowbottom makes his second visit to East End Park this season. When he was first here, he sent off Dunfermline's Gavin Johnson against Dundee. That was Dunfermline's only win in the Scottish Premier League so far this season. So the former Rangers man David Graham ready to get the first touch and to start his Dunfermline career. It's a basement battle. Dunfermline hoping to come a little closer to the clubs above them, which include Dundee United and Aberdeen. Dundee United themselves hoping to move away, thank you, from Dunfermline. Adinio, frozen out at Bradford this season. He's grown his hair since I last saw him play for the Yorkshire club.
Well, if he was frozen out at Bradford, he'll be even colder up here in...
Yes, I feel a Scottish winter coming on this evening. This is Patterson. And hack on out of play. Alex Maffey hit 15 goals for Ipswich last season when he played most of the time with David Johnson, and it was Jamie Scowcroft who was left on the bench. It all changed for him this season. It's his move back to Scotland. He began his career with Celtic. Scott McCulloch. The 4 meetings between these two teams last season all ended in draws, and so did the first one of this season. And as we were saying, Dunfermline have had their fair share of draws so far this season, 8 in 13 league games. So they might have only won 1, but they've only lost 4, which is as many as Celtic have lost.
Yeah, it's certainly been a bit unlucky for them some of the games. Bert Payton said that they played well and just not managed to take the points, and as we all know with this 3-point system, Ian, draws really do kill you.
It's going to go through to the unmistakable Dykstra. 83rd consecutive appearance for Dundee United since his move from QPR. Actually played in Scotland for Motherwell before he went down south. Tony McLean signed him for Motherwell and then for Dundee United. Skoldmark for Maffey. He's got the free kick for a foul by Craig Ireland. And it's a free kick that will be taken by Magnus Skoldmark, who's looked pretty impressive at times this season.
Yeah, certainly has. One of these Scandinavian buys that Dundee United seem to keep pulling out. And I'm sure they'll have another impressive game tonight.
Maffey turned, oh! Spectacular effort, and it has gone in! Despite Lee Butler's attempt to keep it out. A sensational start to the match for Alex Maffey. It looked like he was going to be foiled by Butler, but it dropped in anyway. Well,
this is striking at its best. It's a great turn from Maffey there. What a strike. Butler does magnificently to keep it out, but it goes in the top corner, and that is out of the top drawer. A great wee turn outside his foot for Maffey. Arrows it right in the top corner. What a goal. 1-0 United.
Alex Maffey with his second goal for Dundee United, and he can add those to the 2 that he got for Ipswich. And what a superb strike from Maffey, who had such an excellent season for the Suffolk club last year. He had to take out an advert in the local paper in Ipswich to thank everybody who wrote to him, saying how sorry they were to see him leave the club. Dundee United are rather glad that he did leave them.
Well, when you see a finish like that, Ian, it's no wonder. Paul Sturrock said in the press earlier on this week he was delighted with the way Maffey and Dawes were linking up, and that is exactly what he was talking about. Here it is again, it's a superb turn. He knows where the goals are, he doesn't even look up, flights it. It's a tremendous effort from Butler, to be fair, but it's in the back of the net. It's 1-0.
He might just drop here though for Adinio, but it's into the side netting from the Brazilian as Dunfermline looked for an instant response to Maffey's goal.
Well, it's a real chance. It's a bit of a miscue there. Smith causing havoc again, and Adinio will be a bit disappointed there. I think it strikes outside the post as it goes into the side netting eventually. There it's there, yep, it hit the side of the post. What a chance.
Well, Dunfermline rocked by that goal. Here's Maffey again. Away by Siggy Jonsson, the former Arsenal and Sheffield Wednesday man, who captains his country, Iceland, these days. Skoldmark stepped in for Dundee United. Dodds, Zetterland, and Butler coming out. He looked favourite to get there, and he did, the man who was once on the books of Aston Villa.
Yeah, some nice build-up play for United there, and that's a good race. Olafson's very, very quick, so is Shields, but Butler was the quickest of the three.
Andy Smith is penalised, and Dundee United will get a free kick. Veteran Malpass. Dunfermline, with just that one victory in the Premier League, 2-0 here against Dundee.
Yep, there it is, he comes over. Andy Smith is a really tough customer to tackle and challenge all night, and that's going to be an interesting battle.
Yes, rest assured he'll be putting himself about as usual. Well, that free kick is going to go rather wastefully into the arms of Dijkstra, who's kept 4 clean sheets so far this season. Olafsson on the chase, and it was clipped out of play by Andy Todd. So it's Olafsson with the throw. Oh, it might come back to Skoldmark. Gavin Johnson with a very vital clearance for Dunfermline then. It's going to be a throw into the home side, but he rescued the Palms then.
Well, Johnson had to alert. It's another great touch, I think, from Matty. Skoldmark was coming in, but Johnson read it just in time.
Smith stepping away from Jonsson. Dino. Derek Ferguson. Rather a Barry. Ireland was charged down by Dodds. Here's McCulloch. Dino came to meet it. The referee cut knocked out of the way. Much to the delight of the fans. Here's Olafsson. Support from Pasquale if he wants it. Doesn't look like he does. It was cleared by Squires. McCulloch's cushion header to Gavin Johnson. Cannoned off Malpass and just dropped the wrong side of Andy Todd. Pasquale to Olafsson. Seeing plenty of the ball on that side, but giving it away that time to Derek Ferguson. Here's Andy Smith. Siggy Jonsson and Andy Smith. I think you're right there, it's going to be some duel.
Yeah, I think they'll be not too far away from each other tonight, Ian, but certainly, as we said at the start, both sides going with 3 forwards, and it's been a very open, lively start to the game, and of course graced with that magnificent goal from Alec Matty.
Before last weekend, Dundee United, for all their problems early season, were actually the highest scorers away from home in the Scottish Premier League. That was before Rangers. Went to see Johnston for the day. Adilio. Another disappointing cross in the end from Shields.
Well, think of it, yeah, David Graham there, and that is exactly why he's been saying, look at the pace, he's very, very quick. He gets there, but he just catches it the wrong side with a bounce, and it's handily over. Steve Dijkstra's crossbar.
It's Paul Sturrock's 10th game in charge of Dundee United, where he spent his playing career, of course. Todd, away by Jonsson. Good old-fashioned up and under, which caused Craig Island 1 or 2 problems. Billy Dodds. The interception by Gavin Johnson. Adino. Smith. Johnson. Smith looking to return it to Johnson, but Skoldmark was in the way. And now here's Alex Matthey, Dundee United's goal scorer, picking out Billy Dodds. Olofsson arriving in support, quite a few actually arriving in support, including Bernard Pasquale. Dodds going the wrong way at the moment. Pasquale through towards Matthey, and that one's going to come through to Skoldmark, who tees it up for Zetterlund. Fierce drive from Lars Zetterlund, just curled away.
Well, Dundee United have clearly showed their intentions early in this match. It's another sweeping move, and it's a superb strike there from Zetterlund, and that's inches from being 2-0. He catches it well, and that whips across the face of Lee Butler's goal, and it was almost number 2 for United.
Foul by Jamie Squires on Billy Dodds. Squires is the birthday boy today, 23 years of age. Not much of a happy birthday so far.
No, it's not, Ian, but there's a long way to go yet, and there's one thing this Dunfermline side does not lack, and that's bottle. They'll keep pegging away and keep coming at United. It has to be said, I've started well. They've got a grip in the midfield and deserve to be in front.
Jonsson's free kick. Olofsson trying to make contact. Billy Dodds does make contact, but Lee Butler is there, stepped into the side when Ian Westwater was injured in the first game of the season at Celtic. And he's done quite well. Skoldmark. Craig Easton. Went under Ferguson's boot. Matthey to Dodds. Out towards Olofsson. Won't quite reach him though. Touched out by Greg Shields.
Well, it's noticeable, Ian, early on that United, although it looked as if it was a 5 at the back, the 2 full-backs or wing-backs are right up the park. They're definitely in an attacking mode. And United have come here in 10th after 3 points.
There you can see Dunfermline putting Dundee United under a fair bit of pressure.
Yeah, it certainly is at the moment. They're coming forward in waves. Dunfermline really need to battle through the storm at the moment. Get the ball up to big Andy Smith and David Graham. Start creating attacks of their own.
Here's Ferguson to Smith. Adino on the chase, and he'll get there. David Graham and Andy Todd in the middle. Andy Smith is arriving as well. It's over Smith's head, but not Todd's. Collected by Dykstra.
Well, that's better from Dunfermline there. A good move down the right. Adino back to Derek Ferguson. And Fergie shows the quality of his delivery. It's a good ball in. It's a good blocking header. And Steve Dykstra, who has to be said is looking very lean, must be working hard with Roy Baines. Took it easy.
Put in by Gavin Johnson. Darren Patterson, the Northern Ireland international, whose contract at Luton expired in the summer. Matthey to Dodds. Away it goes to Pasquale. Signed also in the summer, a free transfer from Le Havre. There's Olofsson and Matthey. McCulloch slid in. And here's Andy Smith, and there could be a bit of a break on here. I don't think Adino's going to get there, is he? Not quite.
No, it's a poor ball for Andy Smith. It has to be said, he's playing very deep himself. I mean, Andy is an out-and-out target man. I'd like to see him right through the middle up against Maurice Malpas and let the pace of David Graham and the trickery of Adino work off him instead of him dropping as deep as he did there. You better with Andy Smith on the end of your moves.
captain of Dunfermline this season. Andy Smith. Craig Ireland looking for Smith, who didn't make contact. It's pulled away by Johnson. Lovely touch by Matthew to skull mark. And that came off McCulloch. On by Smith and then by Graham. Gavin Johnson to Adino. This time he will keep it in. And just dropped away from Andy Smith. Goal kick.
Well, this is more like it from Dunfermline again. They're knocking it wide. You've really got to get into these areas. That's where the space is against United defence. It's good trickery for Adino. It's a superb ball in. And a wee flick on in. Andy Smith. It just fell the wrong side of him, because I'm sure if the big man had got a sniff of that, it'd have been 1-1.
Dundee United with just 2 defeats in 9 games since Paul Sturrock took over, and they were against the high-flying sides, Rangers and Kilmarnock. There's a feeling they're gradually turning the corner, Dundee United. Dunfermline would quite like to follow them around that corner. Dykstra with that remarkable record of not missing a game since he joined Dundee United. Adino, who started the first game of the season for Bradford. A couple of substitute appearances since. Squires. That's one heck of a pass if Johnson can get there. Oh, just went away from him.
Yeah, very lucky there from Squires. He saw Johnson a bit of space out here. You'll see him coming to the picture now. It's a superb effort, but it just skips off the turf there and just rolls out of play.
Well, he has got a free kick going his way now. It's taken quickly. McCulloch. Ferguson. Johnson. Easton. That wasn't a bad pass either for Olofsson. Lars Zetterlund showed too much of it to Adino. Nobody can hang on to it at the moment. Olofsson to Pasquale. He provides further proof that no one can hang on to it. Andy Smith. And the throw-in has gone Andy Todd's way. Shields. Away by Johnson. Adino, though, hooks it into the path of Smith. Well, there are promising signs from Dunfermline.
Yes, I think you can say Dunfermline are beginning to ease back into the match after that shell shock of a start with a goal from Alex Matthew. But you saw there again the experience of Maurice Malpas just mopping up the danger as Shields raced into the box.
Dundee United with 2 wins on the road this season at St Johnstone and at Hearts. Billy Dodds. Matthew trying to turn again. He's put Dodds away, but it just sprung off his boot. And in any case, I think there might have been a flag there. Referee let him get on with it.
Yeah, that's great vision from you there, Ian. I saw you instantly look towards the linesman there, showing your experience of a good 50 years.
Here's Squires. David Graham. Patterson. Johnson, as calm and composed as ever, but decided that it might be a good idea to release it somewhere.
Yeah, I think when you hit the nail on the head, and you said it's going through a scrappy period at the moment. None of the two teams can really get a hold of it. But for me, it's still United the more impressive. They look more incisive than Dunfermline at the moment.
Easton with the delicate touch to skull mark. Oh, Dodds was caught by Jamie Squires, and that's going to be a yellow card on his birthday as well.
Well, it's not the card he'd be looking for, but there's no doubt that there was a booking there. He hurtles in, and Billy Dodds does well to ride it a little bit, but that's a yellow card, and there's no way a man with experience of Mr. Rowbottom has got to miss or let him get away, something like that.
Plenty of birthday cards, no doubt, and a yellow card as well for Squires. Malpass with Dundee United's free kick, just dropped away from Shields and from Olofsson. 23 goals last season for the Swedish striker, just the one so far this campaign.
That was very impressive there, Ian. Are we going to have a little go at Adino's full name tonight? Or are you going to leave that?
Might do later on. Brazilians always have rather long names, don't they? Let's see how I feel later. Stick to the abridged version for now. Jonsson's header out. He's had a season disrupted by injuries, Siggy Jonsson. Todd. Pasquale gets in ahead of him. Dundee United played themselves out of trouble.
Yeah, done very well there, Pasquale. Nice little 1-2 out. United showing their experience at the back. They'll be hard to break down.
Since the Scottish Premier League was formed, Dunfermline have only beaten Dundee United twice in 25 meetings. Here's Matthew, whose goal separates the sides at East End Park tonight. Taking on McCulloch. Scored mark behind him if he needs him. He doesn't. That's not a bad cross for Olofsson. He will get a touch now, found by Zetterlund. Olofsson over Dodds' head, away by McCulloch. And I think I could safely say that might have been a shove on Adino.
Yes, I think you can get that one safely right. But what a ball in from Olofsson. There's a tackle. He gets in, squeezes away from them. And there's a wee shove there from Skullmark.
The little Brazilian who endeared himself to Bradford fans last season after joining them from the Portuguese side Vitória Guimarães. Siggy Jonsson kept it in. Graham and Andy Smith, and excellent work from Malpass. Mind you, he's been doing that all season.
Well, that's Maurice Malpass at his best, showing his experience there, just standing up and taking the ball off Andy Smith when he turned.
Patterson. Adino. Jonsson. Smith on the chase. Dijkstra's come out. But Malpass is there again. 36 years of age, Maurice Malpass. 55 Scottish caps. He was a survivor, of course, from Dundee United's championship winning season of 1983. It'll be a long throw for Craig Ireland. On by Smith. Bernard Pasquale to Billy Dodds. Zetterlund. Michel Olofsson. And that was a stray one. And it's given Adino a chance, and he's going to have a dig. Pushed away by Dijkstra and cleared by Jonsson.
Well, that's the continuing trend of the game. Dunfermline are battling back. Adino picks it up, rifles in a left foot shot, but Dijkstra superbly knocks it wide.
Dino is the man on the far post. Not the tallest of options then for Dunfermline. Matthew. Just the wrong side of Dodds, but he's actually put it into the path of Olafsson. It's wide, but what a break from Dundee United.
Yep, that shows them at the best of three strikers there, the three forwards linking up. Matthew to Dodds, it's a nice little touch, and Olafsson, I think here he's got to go for a chip. Look how far Lee Butler is out. He's out 8-9 yards there. And I feel if Olafsson had gone the aerial route, it could have been 2-0.
You'd have stuck that one in yourself, wouldn't you?
Maybe.
Here's Smith for Edino. It's a really open game. Gavin Johnson. And the header. It's in from Todd. And Dunfermline a level. Andy Todd. And Dundee United unable to cope with a familiar aerial threat from the Pars.
Well, it's been coming by, and Andy Todd, he's an ex-centre forward, and he attacks it like one. Look at that, he's up well. And he just places the header right down at the bottom of the post here. Look at that. It's only inches inside Dykstra. The keeper has absolutely no chance. And there's Andy Todd showing his predatory instincts. It's 1-1.
Payton delighted by that. And it's given Dunfermline a predictable lift. Back by Jonsson to Dykstra.
Well, how many times have we seen it, Ian? A chance for Olafsson at one end to make it 2-0 and put United into a comfortable lead. And Dunfermline go right down the other end, and it's the head of Andy Todd. It brings them level.
It really is an intriguing contest, this, between the two struggling sides. We say struggling, although Dundee United doing pretty well lately, and Dunfermline with 8 draws in 13 Premier League games before today. Enough about them to survive in the top flight again, but they do need to turn some of those draws into wins. It's all square at the moment, though. Olafsson. Jamie Squires finding David Graham, and in came the boot of Jonsson. Squires leaving it for Derek Ferguson. Being put under pressure by Edino, and he's been fouled, but I bet he won't do that again in a hurry, mind you. Free kick.
Well, I tell you what, Ian, I want to see this incident again, because I think Dykstra is very fortunate here. Yeah, Edino's turned in. I think they're both at it. You see Dykstra's left arm. I think the big Dundee United goalkeeper is very fortunate to get away with that. There's a little turn. Edino reads it. He's onto him sharp. There's the first tug, but look at Dykstra's left hand. I think it's 6 and 1, a half a dozen the other there.
Well, he's quite a character. But they wouldn't mind if he was less than a character in those sort of situations. Todd, the goal scorer for Dunfermline, finds Jonsson offside. Andy Todd has had injury problems this season.
He has that, but you see him here, he was a converted centre forward, back centre half, he's new midfield, and that is all about an old-fashioned striker attacking the ball at the back post. What a time to get his first goal this season.
Over 200 games for the club, and I think he's just about played everywhere for them. Apart from in goal, perhaps. Smith, passed out to Lars Zetterman. Olafsson. Offside flag was about to go up against Alex Matthew. Doesn't matter anyway, because it's a free kick.
Yeah, Andy Smith in the thick of it again, but again he's a way back, very, very deep. I'm sure all the Dunfermline fans, perhaps even his manager, would rather see him in the other box.
Kurt Payton, 5 years in charge of Dunfermline now, played for the club, actually was signed by Jock Stein when he was manager here in the 60s.
Well, there's been some legendary managers. We've had Stein, and of course Mr. James Leishman, another big hero here at Dunfermline. He really brought the club out the doldrums. Bert Payton follows on.
Johnson. It was away by Ireland. It's going to come back towards the Dunfermline boxer. Easton. Magnus Skoldmark. Actually played with Lars Zetterlund in Sweden. Dodds to Mathy. Skoldmark on the overlap. This is neat, and it was well blocked by McCulloch. And he sets up Gavin Johnson, who in turn finds Adino. He survives Easton's challenge, but can't find a way past Siggy Johnson. Craig Easton. Olofsson looking to pick out Dodds. And it's come off McCulloch, it'll be a corner. I think it did take a faint touch off him.
Yeah, I think Scott McCulloch knocked it past there, but it was a magnificent tackle from him earlier on. You see it here, yep, the referee, Mr. Oldham, spot on. McCulloch, the subject of a bid from Aberdeen this week for £300,000. And showing just why with that magnificent tackle earlier on there.
Well, it's the first corner of the game, in the 32nd minute. And it'll be taken by Olofsson, not particularly well. And away by Smith on the near post. Tell you what, we'll have a second corner straight away. There's a bit of a problem with the ball being returned, hence the delay, as everybody waits. I think they need a new ball. Excuse me, Mr. Policeman.
Got the long arm of the law there, comes to good effect.
I thought he was going to take it home with him then. Of course, whilst he was retrieving it, we've got another ball on. Here we go then. Olofsson's corner, and that was better, and it'll be a third corner in succession now. You don't have any for ages, and then three come along all at once.
Yes, I was waiting on that one there, Ian. It's the old bus syndrome, isn't it there? Andy Todd.
Absolutely.
Showing his defensive qualities there. As you mentioned earlier, he's played just about everywhere for Dunfermline and scored from them from just about every position.
Olofsson changing sides then for this corner, but it was met, perhaps predictably, by Andy Smith. Skoldmark, Olofsson, who was caught late, and John Rowbottom is going to dish out a warning, I think.
Yeah, the referee saw that right in front of him. I think Greg Shields will be fortunate, and he is fortunate to get away with that yellow card here. You see him clatter in. Well, it's not the kind of tackle you like to see, but thankfully Olofsson comes to no harm.
And takes a free kick, which is miskicked by Mathy, back in by Easton, who gets another bite at it. Scrambled away by Dunfermline, and Johnson finding David Graham. And this is some surge, Adino. Handball by Siggy Johnson, free kick. It was taken too quickly for the referee's liking though, they have to come back.
Well, Mr. Rowbottom thinks his hand, well, I don't think it hits his hand. There you go, it's straight into a rather tender region. But Mr. Rowbottom was on the spot. And it's a free kick in a very, very dangerous position here.
Well, McCulloch can strike them, he might be the favourite. David Graham also there, and Gavin Johnson, but there's a bit of tangling going on in the area between Smith and Johnson, and they're going to be summoned to the referee.
Yeah, I think they were just exchanging some pleasantries there, Ian.
It is going to be McCulloch, and it's straight through! What a strike from Scott McCulloch!
Well, I think they're going to ask questions here about the goalkeeper. It's his side of the wall, McCulloch. It's a fantastic strike, arrow straight. But really, Dykstra's covering that side. And I'm sure Paul Sturrock will be very, very upset. This is going to be the best angle of the lot. You see McCulloch, it's a great strike, it's low. It's a daisy cutter. And Dykstra slow to react. And the ball fairly whistled into the corner. And no wonder Bert Payton has got that rather large grin on his face.
Scott McCulloch with his first goal for Dunfermline. He was signed from Hamilton last year and was at Rangers earlier in his career. So Dunfermline lead 2-1 after being a goal down, and it really has been an open and at times sparkling contest.
All credit to Dunfermline. They were rocked by that magnificent early goal from Alec Matthew, and for about 10-15 minutes they had to weather the storm, but they've come back. I told you about the bottle. They've battled into the game, level Shandy Todd, and then a tremendous strike from McCulloch, and now it's United on the back foot.
It's just going to drop for Matthew. And he finds Magnus Skoldmark. Zetterlund was caught late, right in front of the referee as well. And once they've disentangled themselves, McCulloch's going to get a yellow card.
Well, Mr. Rowbottom's right there, and he's correct once again. It's happened no less than 2 yards. There you are, 2 yards front of the referee. McCulloch clatters in, maybe his momentum. But well done the ref, he's spot on again. Deserved yellow card.
Goal and a booking in the space of a couple of minutes for Scott McCulloch. Ollison's free kick. Oh, and it was Skoldmark coming in round the back, but there was a foul earlier from Patterson on Johnson. Tomorrow night in the FA Carling Premiership, Sky Sports will be at the City Ground for that East Midlands derby. No love lost between those two teams normally. It's Nottingham Forest against Derby County, Monday, 7 o'clock, Sky Sports 1. Butler's clearance. Todd. Dunfermline have not scored more than 2 goals in any game so far this season, so they must be in with a decent chance now. And how about that for possession? Fairly level, I think we could say.
Well, I don't think you get much more level than that, Ian, and Dunfermline though have got their noses in front, and deservedly it has to be said. And how will Shell Olsen be feeling now, because he had that chance to put United 2 up.
Such a thin line in this game. McCulloch. Straight through to Dykstra, who won't want to watch the replay of that free kick too often.
No, I don't think he will, and I'm sure, well, I know that Roy Baines will get some stick from the boys in our dressing room this week about his goalkeeper there, but it's his side of the wall. But all credit to Scott McCulloch, what a strike.
And now it's Billy Dodds, Dundee United looking to level. And it was deflected as bodies were flung in his way.
Well, it's another sharp, incisive move for United. It's thrown in there. Matthew flicks it into Dodds again. If there's one man you'd bet on, it's Dodds. But McCulloch, what a few minutes he's had. He's scored a goal, he's had a booking, and he's just saved a certain goal.
Ollison's corner. Dodds was surely bounced over by Johnson. Indeed he was.
The Dunfermline fans were screaming for a handball against Dodds there originally, but you can see there it didn't. He gets himself in front of Johnson, and that is a push. It's a free kick.
And Dodds will move into the middle to try and get on the end of Shell Ollison's free kick. And Dunfermline though, always with plenty of height in those situations. Here's Olafsson again. Zetterlund trying to flick it on, and it'll be a corner off McCulloch. In the thick of it again.
Yeah, he's doing well. Said it was a good defensive header away. There's a great block on the line to stop a certain goal. The strange thing is though, it's Olafsson taking these set pieces, and he's probably one of United's biggest players.
Olafsson's corner. Edino. I think the home fans rather enjoyed that one. McCulloch. Craig Island. Todd to Shields. And his run is brought to an end uncompromisingly by Zetterlund, and here goes Skoldmark. Matthew to his right. Skoldmark has continued running into the box. Will be a possible target, except Matthew goes for goal himself! Off the foot of the post from Alex Maffey, who was within an inch or two of scoring his second of the game.
Well, it's another great strike from Maffey. And I'll be interested to see, because I'm sure Lee Butler got a touch to that. I think it's credit to the Dunfermline goalkeeper on a save.
Ferguson. And that will dribble through to Dijkstra. Well, we'll see if you were right.
Yeah, we'll see a moment of truth here, but Maffey cuts inside. Dodge screaming for it in the middle there, but he goes alone. It's a good strike, and I'm sure Butler just gets a fingertip onto the post there. Here's the angle that will tell us it's a great strike from Matthew, left foot again. And yes, there's the touch.
Okay, so good spot.
Phew.
Well, it's all level as far as attempts at goal are concerned. Dunfermline getting more on target, and they lead by 2-1, and they're going in search of another. They haven't scored 3 in a game since the end of last season. David Graham, one of their signings this week, fouled by Zetterlund here.
Yeah, the young lad getting away there, and I'll tell you what, Zetterlund very fortunate to escape without another card from Mr. Robot, and there's right in front of him. And there's Mr. McCulloch going to line this one up again. He's hovering at the halfway line.
Dijkstra will be glad that it's not going to be a shot from distance, I don't think. Chipped in by Johnson, and it was rather a waste for Dunfermline as the free kick is given.
I'll tell you, that's a strange one, because if you look at it, it is offside, and Mr. Rowbottom's done superbly there, but I can't understand what the linesman's doing standing at the corner flag there.
Here's Dodds. Pasquale. Olafsson offside.
Yeah, just gone into an offside position there. And the linesman in a perfect position to give that one offside.
Lee Butler, the former Villa, Barnsley and Wigan keeper. Skoldmark's header. Gavin Johnson. Edino. Foul by Darren Patterson.
Yeah, you can see him holding on there. Edino, good upper body strength. Patterson just clips the bottom of his right foot. Free kick Dunfermline.
Aimed towards Andy Smith, which is always a pretty good idea. Dunfermline's throw as we approach half time. It was away by Siggy Jonsson. And again. Ferguson. Dunfermline will be more than happy to see out this first half in this half of the field. It's Gavin Johnson. It's Fairly wide of the mark, but worth a go, I guess.
It's certainly half a chance here, and it's a good original touch. He just knocks it down to his left foot there. He's only 25 yards out, but he's a little bit off balance. And it goes wide. I'm sure Paul Sturrock will be disappointed. He'll probably feel his team should be on level terms, but Dunfermline have got their noses in front.
Zetterlund now. It was blocked by Todd, but here's Pasquale. Dodds his header. Drops for Mathy. McCulloch nipped in ahead of Skoldmark. And it's half-time at East End Park. And it's been an interesting battle. Scott McCulloch's free kick putting Dunfermline 2-1 up after Andy Todd had equalised. The opening goal of the game was a rather special effort from Alex Mathy. A tremendous turn here, and although Lee Butler did well to get a touch, it dropped in. Dunfermline's equaliser though, well, they're always pretty useful in the air, Andy Todd especially. Planted that one firmly into the back of the net, much to his manager's delight. And then this free kick, given for handball, even though it didn't appear to touch Siggy Jonsson's hand. Scott McCulloch, did he care? No, not at all. An excellent finish from McCulloch. And in this basement battle in the Scottish Premier League at half-time, it's Dunfermline 2, Dundee United 1.
Halfway stage between Dunfermline and Dundee United, and we have ourselves a highly entertaining match tonight. It's 2-1 Dunfermline at the break. Just 2 bookings so far in this game. Both Dunfermline players booked, Squires and McCulloch. But not a lot in it in terms of possession. Dunfermline just shade it, and John Robertson rightly saying, as a result of that, Dunfermline deserved to be in the lead. Charlie Nicholas, what's your view of the first 45 minutes?
I thought it was very even. I thought the facts proved the case. Good contest. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was expecting goals tonight. Dunfermline never disappoint you, Jim. They're either hot or they're cold. Defensively, they're not structured quite right yet for me. But, you know, when you bring in Adino and you bring in David Graham, that's a positive attacking motion that you're putting into place to your team. And it's proved to be the case. And even going down 1-0 early doors with a quality goal from Alec Mathy, I have to say the response has been very, very good indeed.
And you rightly said we would get goals in this game, Charlie. We got an early one, Alex Mathy, and he is a player you rate highly, isn't he?
Well, I played with Aldo at Celtic and I know his qualities. It's not just pace. Watch your turn. The one touch, he's already in the spin, and because the keeper, Lee Butler, he can't get time to adjust. That's why he's unlucky, because Aldo's taking it that early. But the quality, the accuracy, everything's there. Look, he's at full stretch. That's a tremendous start for Dundee United, and a wonderful individual goal from Mathy, who's been by far United's best player.
To be fair, Dunfermline always have bags of fight though, Charlie, don't they? And Andy Todd typifies that.
They will never disappoint you, because even when they go behind, they'll keep fighting away, and only bad mistakes will be their own downfall. I love this. I mean, I just thought the build-up play, the 3 strikers were all involved. 2 of them are new. Edino just lays it back. There's the supply you need. Big Andy Todd going, shoving Andy Smith and the defenders out the way. This is mine. See, look, he points. He knows where he wants it. But it's a beautiful header. This is a fabulous angle to watch. Look at the header. Bent right in at the post. Dijkstra no chance. And they really deserve to be back level then, because we're forcing the issue in the game.
What about the free kick involving Jonsson and Edinho, the Brazilian? Now, you were appalled by this, but Rowbottom gave it.
Well, I'm appalled by the decision, because this is such a vital decision. It's never a handball there, you see. It's into the abdominal area, and then it maybe touches the sleeve of his jersey, but that's it. That's the only crime that's been committed there. The referee got it wrong. But it's typical football, isn't it, that you get punished so severely?
And let's see how they got punished, how Jonsson and United got punished. A great finish, Scott McCulloch, great strike, Charlie.
What I have to say is that this is about technique. You know, it's a clear case of power shooting, but the technique is excellent. I think a little graze maybe off Easton's stud, just as slight as just to deflect it towards the corner. But you can even see from this angle, look, Dijkstra has no chance. Absolutely no chance. The technique was excellent. I don't really think overall that Dunfermline probably deserved to be in front, because I think they've been hard done by with that free kick incident, but they're there, and I think we will get more goals in the second half.
Well, Charlie, Alex Mathy started the first half well, he finished it well too. it hit the woodwork here. Now,
Yeah.
did Butler get a touch to this, did you feel?
Undoubtedly, Robbo gave the right call. As an ex-striker, you always notice these things. But very positive again, running at people, not his favoured side. Nice touch from Butler, to his credit. Sometimes it's easy to miss them. But I like Matthew, look, nothing in his mind negative, very positive thinking, good strike. Maybe could have went far post, try to catch him out with the eyes. Credit to the keeper. And Matthew's been excellent, but Dunfermline are doing very well.
It's game on as things stand right now at East End Park. We have a half-time scoreline of Dunfermline 2, Dundee United 1. And it's 2-1 to Dunfermline against Dundee United. Charlie, more goals? Let's hope so.
I think there will be more goals. I think United have got to expect a bit more from Olafsson. He has been a little bit out of sorts, but Dunfermline will be happy. I think more goals in the second half, Jim.
And a good crowd there tonight. Let's rejoin John Robertson and Ian Crocker.
Thank you, Jim. And there's another Jim McLean, the top man at Dundee United. So Dunfermline leading by 2-1, but it's been an open encounter, and he wouldn't bet against a few more goals. And so far, the fans here at East End Park have enjoyed the fare that's been on offer on a rather chilly, biting cold night in Fife. Paul Sturrock's Dundee United trailing, but it's they who will start this second half. Kicking from right to left as we watch. Two teams struggling at the wrong end of the Scottish Premier League. A victory for the Pars would drag them level with Dundee United and with Aberdeen. It's pretty tight in the league at the moment. Once you get past the likes of Rangers. Here's Skoldmark. Billy Dodds. And he's got the free kick, Dodds, who scored in both Scotland's European Championship qualifiers last month. Matthew. And it just ran away from Dodds. Well, there's a reunion of sorts today for two former Ipswich men. Gavin Johnson of Dunfermline and Alex Matthew of Dundee United actually played just one game as Portman Road teammates. And I'd say it was February 1995 against Southampton. It was Johnson's last match for Ipswich, and coincidentally it was Matthew's first match for Ipswich, and he scored. How about that for a stat of the week?
Well, Ian, you never cease to amaze me. I just want to know if that's a Sky Sports jacket on a anorak you're wearing there. But no, well done. I like to hear these things.
You don't sound very convincing. It's a free kick for Squires. And it'll be another one for Patterson's foul on Smith.
Yeah, he climbed hard early there, passing. Not a lot in it, to be fair. But Mr. Robor's had a good game. He's handled it well. And he spotted that infringement.
And it drops for Smith, fumbled by Baxter, but he made an amazing recovery to foil Smith from the rebound.
Well, disappointment all over Big Andy's face there. Shocking marking for United. Smith's a free header. It's a great reaction save for Dykstra. And then he's up and blocking. What a chance for Dunfermline. There it is, Smith attacks it, bullet header. Dykstra, he's up sharp.
In comes the corner, which is collected by Dykstra. But if there's one man you really don't want to leave alone in that situation, it is Andy Smith.
That's no doubt. Andy's got 4 this term. 23 last year as well, so everybody knows his capabilities.
Now Dundee United seeking out an equaliser. Matthew's cross straight through to Butler, who's actually only conceded 14 goals in 13 games this season, which is not too bad a record for a club who are bottom of the table.
Yeah, he's a good goalkeeper. He played particularly well against Livingston in the League Cup this year. Just didn't keep us out, Ian.
Who scored the winner in that game then?
That electrifying young striker through there. Robertson's his name.
Is Zetterlund. Matthew has found Dodds, and just about kept his feet. Tackled by Johnson, and it's released to Dino, who does that little trick again. No back heel. That could become a bit of a trademark, methinks. Andy Smith for David Graham. Pasquale is with him. Goal kick given.
Yeah, good strong defending from Pasquale there, David Graham. We know he's quick. Pasquale using his upper body there, just holds the youngster off. And he just slips it out for a wide kick.
Picked up on a free transfer in the summer under the Bosman ruling from the French club Le Havre. Comes through with a bit of a glove problem, which he's now sorted. Firm header by Ireland. Came off David Graham. Shunted out of first team favour at Rangers, really, with all their big money signings. He did actually start the very first game of the season against Shelbourne in the UEFA Cup. Seems a very long time ago now. And here he is, but not to any great effect that time.
Yes, fresh start for Graham. David Graham, he'll be looking forward to building a career in Dunfermline now. I'm sure he'll become a firm favourite with the EastEnders.
He's only 20 and he's very highly rated by the Scotland manager Craig Brown. Free kick given Dundee United's way. And it'll be taken by the veteran Malpaz. Kevin Johnson. McCulloch. Goldmark. Johnson inadvertently helped it on to Craig Easton, up towards Dodds. Here's Matthew. Just going to run behind though, much to Matthew's obvious frustration.
Yeah, United are still knocking about though. The passing's been very good, they've been very tidy. With Dodds and Matthew up front, there's always a chance, but there you see it just running away from Matthew. And a little bit of shooting practice against the boards.
Dino. Handball given again against Siggy Jonsson. Well, I say again, of course, they didn't handle it in that first half incident, which led to the free kick.
Yeah, controversial decision, and I'm sure United manager Paul Sturrock will be disappointed when he sees it again on TV. But that's the breaks in football. Dunfermline grabbed it with both hands.
And here they go again with Craig Shields. Running out of play in an unfamiliar position on the pitch.
Well, the linesman's there, and again it's the old rule, does the whole ball cross the line? No. I'd have to say the linesman maybe a touch quick there.
Thumping clearance from Jonsson, and it found Johnson, but here's Jonsson again. Easton up towards Matthew. He finds Dodds. And now Olafsson. He delivers a pretty decent cross, and it's just going to drop over. Corner kick has been given.
Well, Butler had to be brave there. Another sweeping move from United. It's a teasing cross here from Olafsson. Butler comes. I think it's Matthew that gets it in front, but Butler just does enough. There's Matthew pouring in, yeah, and Butler gets it over the top and keeps Dunfermline ahead.
It was a real awkward one. The corner wasn't very awkward for Dunfermline's defence, though. Malpaz, Dodds, Easton. He was looking to pick out Matthew, but it was cut out by Gavin Johnson. Given away though. Olifson. And that will veer away from Billy Dodds and drift behind for the goal kick.
Yeah, Billy Dodds has been as busy as ever. He'll be looking right to the end to grab a goal.
And Dundee United are considering the change with Jason DeVos waiting to come on. Paul Sturrock has no doubt issued him with a few instructions, but they won't make it just yet. Play continues.
I don't think there's an injury to a defender here, Ian, because DeVos is a defensive player, and at 2-1 down, I'm sure Sturrock will want to bring more attacking options if he can.
Well, it's going to be Magnus Skoldmark who's going off, and the Canadian international Jason DeVos, a recent signing from 3rd Division Darlington, comes on for his 3rd appearance for Dundee United, 2 of them indeed as a substitute. Strapping defender. Adino. And here goes Olifson. Rode the 2 challenges then, and he's away. And it cannoned off Zetterland, it comes through to Easton. Whether they meant it or not. You'd fancy Dunfermline ready to chew up crosses like that though, and they did. Here's Andy Smith. Dino takes it over. Andy Todd was blatantly blocked by Jason DeVos. He's going to get one of the quickest yellow cards you'll see this season, having just come on as a substitute. He's going to get a booking.
Well, I know it's cold at East End, but that's nothing more than the good old ice hockey body check. A clash of the Titans there, Andy Todd and Jason DeVos, the big Canadian, finds his way to Mr. Robotham's book.
Yellow card then for the former Darlington man. Ferguson. Dykstra comes, and no problem for Dundee United giant keeper that time. Offside against Billy Dodds.
Well, it's a tight decision there. Dodds made a little angled run. You see the defender stepping up there, and that is not offside. He was onside there. The linesman a perfect view, and have a difficult job to keep an eye on the pass and the player, but I'm sure Billy Dodds was onside.
Smith, meantime, at the other end. Oh, and Kevin Johnson couldn't quite take it with him. Johnson for Dundee United. Easton. Dodds is the man out wide. Soon coming inside though, Alex Maffey, and the drilled centre. Johnson towards David Graham, but dealt with by Malpass, although Graham's on the chase now, and a good recovery from DeVos, who was being tested to the full there by young David Graham.
Well, DeVos had to make sure, having just been yellow carded, and Graham again showing the pace that persuaded Bert Payton to snatch him from Rangers. But the big defender stretched out his big frame and got the ball out for a throw.
Craig Island is on long throw duty here, and Smith at the near post will be his intended target. It came down to Todd, who miskicked it. Graham. Ferguson. And a firm header by the Canadian DeVos. But Dunfermline having a mini spell here, with Shields getting ready to take this throw. Graham. Shields just went out, I think. Yep.
Yeah, the ball definitely that time. But United have battled their way back in the game. Not a lot in it. I still feel that there is a way back for United. Through Dodds, and in particular, Matty.
Well, they'll both be watching what Easton does here. And at the moment, he's trying to go it alone. It didn't work doing it that way. Gavin Johnson leading the black and white charge. David Graham, Andy Todd. And United winning it back pretty easily. Here goes Alex Maffey, scorer of their goal. Blocked by McCulloch, whose free kick put Dunfermline 2-1 up. Andy Smith, McCulloch, Adino. Well, they don't always come off.
Yeah, well, he's certainly starting to open up his tricks now. His confidence is coming in his debut. It's a lovely little flick there, but I'm sure Mr. Payton in the dugout would rather he held on to that ball.
Pasquale. And Shields just did enough, although the corner has been given.
Well, it looked as if the final touch was off Pasquale. He charged forward there. There's a tackle. Yes, it come off the United man. And it was a by kick. The ref's given the corner, and similar to the first half, Ian, could it be that a controversial decision ends up with a goal?
In comes Ollison's corner. It's Dodds on the far post, and Matthew had it cross the line. No, say the officials, but that must have been very, very close.
Well, we were looking at the lines down there, and he stood for him. Just what we said, a controversial decision. It's headed in, or whacked him with Dodds. There's the flick. It's not in. It's hooked off the line by Greg Shields. You see it there. It's not over. Great defending from the fullback.
Another vicious corner though, and it was really viciously whipped in, and it was Matthew who went for it. He's got another corner.
Well, the Dunfermline fans on this here thought this was in the net. You see it whipped in. Matthew gets there. In fact, it's a Dunfermline defender nearly puts it in his own net.
Well, the cross is causing a bit of panic, and here comes another one from Olison, and they're going to get another corner.
Yeah, United on top now. They're turning on the pressure. It's a now whipped in ball. The Voss is coming in. It's too high for him. And Andy Todd shows his defensive qualities. Knocks it out for another corner.
So can Matthew get on the end of this one, or can he, Lee Butler, get on the end of it for Dunfermline? Olison goes for the far stick again. Johnson up towards Adino, who was fouled. He's got the free kick.
Yeah, a little tug there from Easton.
And before the free kick is taken, Dunfermline are making a change, and there's a standing ovation for the Brazilian Adino, who has been lacking match sharpness after not figuring much for Bradford. He's replaced by Stuart Petrie, who's been stuck on 49 goals for about a year now, and I'm sure he'd like to not be stuck on that tally for much longer.
I'm sure he won't in, but Adino's done the job. Bert Payton's brought him in, he's given the team a lift, he's given the supporters a lift, and he leaves the fray with Dunfermline 2-1 ahead.
Pasquale back to the talented youngster Craig Easton. Siggy Jonsson. Olison looking for the return from Zetterlund. It's another corner, and yet more pressure will be put on Dunfermline.
Well, it's another sweeping move from United. We've commented they've been knocking the ball about well. All they're lacking is the finish.
Another wicked corner, which was dealt with by Andy Todd that time. Billy Dodds, and Squires with not a comfortable clearance. Comes to Siggy Jonsson. Ooh, really caught that well. Olafson. Oh, straight through to Butler as Billy Dodds threatened to nip in.
Yet another superb delivery there from Olafson. United are on top here, you see him get it wide. It's a superb ball, inches over Andy Todd's head, and frustratingly for United, it's also inches from the right boot of Billy Dodds.
Dodds has scored 8 times this season. 2 of those were hat-tricks, 6 of them I should say were hat-tricks. For Dundee United on his full debut at St Johnstone, and for Aberdeen at the start of the season in the League Cup against Inverness Cally Thistle. Here he is, Dodds. Olafson. He's going to have a go, and it cannoned off Squire's backside, I think.
I think you're perfectly correct here then. It's bottom.
Olafson's cross. Ferguson calms it down a bit to Dunfermline. Todd. Out of play. Adinio then with an impressive debut. He's got 3 months on loan at East End Park. He wasn't actually the first Brazilian to play for Dunfermline. They had a chap called Sergio Duarte here last season. He was Brazilian. Adinio this season, maybe Ronaldo next season, who knows?
You never know. No needs a fail, but well, there we go. They said that United were getting on top, and that proves at the end they're tumbling towards the Dunfermline goal. But they're still 2-1 behind.
Well, the free kick was wasted, but it will actually be a throw-in. Darren Patterson ready to take the throw-in. Easton. Dundee United setting up camp at the moment at this end of the field, and Jason DeVos obviously has a big throw. Johnson. DeVos, who's temporarily a right winger. It's Dundee United power forward, and here he is, the Canadian, but not for long. Johnson stepping his way through, but not really going anywhere yet. And good work by the substitute Petrie.
Yeah, Stuart Petrie. You've mentioned him 49 goals, but there's the hard-working stuff you expect from a Dunfermline side. And he gets tugged back, Siggy Johnson there. Free kick to Dunfermline. And still the pass hold on.
Johnson's header. Olafson. Mathy. And here's Dodds. It was Squires who got a foot in. Malpas failing that time to make contact. Flag was up for offside. Alex Mathy, who played for Newcastle before heading down to Suffolk and Ipswich, and before playing in England he was with Celtic as a youngster and played for Morton as well. The attendance here at East End Park tonight, some 3,000 above the average, 10,704, and all credit to Dunfermline for slashing the admission prices tonight. £5 for adults, kids for £1, and they've been pretty well entertained.
Yeah, it's been working well in Scotland. The end Motherwell started it off, and clubs in all divisions are doing it now, and it's certainly healthier to see a full crowd. And whoever thought we'd have a 5-minute delay kick-off for Dunfermline Dundee United game.
Here goes David Graham. but not for long. Malpass decides that. Approaching 600 league games for Dundee United, should reach that tally this season, all being well. McCulloch, Johnson, Smith is coming in, and he made it his, and very nearly scored a third for Dunfermline.
Well, this is a carbon copy of the goal that Andy Todd scored. Again, it's whipped in from the left. Again, Smith attacks it, and it's got the same bend as Andy Todd. But unfortunately, this time it's a couple inches past the post instead of a couple of inches inside. It's a great effort, and there, Bert Payton knows that could have been the goal that gave Dunfermline a Dundee double.
Lars Zetterlund has been replaced, whilst we're watching that replay, by Joe Miller. The former Aberdeen man comes on. Zetterlund will watch the rest of this game from the dugout. Joe Miller, his replacement.
It's an attacking move in. Joe Miller is an out-and-out right winger. So you've now got Miller on the right, Olsen on the left, with Dodds and Matthew down the middle.
It's Dunfermline who are threatening this particular moment with Derek Ferguson. Gavin Johnson, rather ambitious, but it took a wicked deflection off to Voss, I think, and Dijkstra had to pop the other way.
Yeah, it was an optimistic strike from Johnson here, and I don't think Dijkstra would have any problem till that deflection, but the goalkeeper recovered comfortably.
Plenty of attempts at goal in this game for both sides. Dunfermline getting more on target, and they're ahead on goals, of course. Dundee United trying to do something about that now with Pasquale, Dodd, Olifson, nobody on the far post. Joe Miller, a rather forlorn chase. Dunfermline less than 20 minutes away from only their second league win of the season. Johnson, Matthew, Miller. Oh, he was rather crudely challenged by Gavin Johnson, and I think might be worthy of a card, although I'm not sure if he's going to get one.
Well, he certainly clattered into him, as you said, no doubt a free kick, but Mr. Rowbottom, using his discretion, it's a little word of warning.
It's Miller who whips it in, and the header from Darren Patterson.
Oh, I don't know if it comes off his head or his shoulders, but Alec Matthews right behind him, screaming on it. It's just touched away from him, and Dunfermline are hanging on.
Petrie, Graham, Stuart Petrie again. He was rather crowded out and unfairly so. Bit of a sandwich then.
Yeah, Stuart Petrie drives in between the two of them there. And again, it's a soft foul, but it's a foul all the same.
And Dunfermline making another change with Kevin Johnson being replaced by Richard Huxford. Two men who have plenty of experience of football in England. Richard Huxford played for a good few clubs south of the border, including Birmingham and Burnley, and Millwall and Bradford. McCulloch straight through to Dijkstra. Tomorrow night in the FA Carling Premiership, it's an East Midlands derby. Nottingham Forest against Derby County at the City Ground, Monday 7 o'clock, Sky Sports 1. Johnson with an interesting up and under, but decided that it wouldn't be that interesting. David Graham chipping away, but it's To no avail ultimately. Here's Olofsson. Patterson, the Northern Ireland international, was knocked on by Miller to Mathy. The best of crosses from Miller, and Patterson, who was caught in possession. Olofsson, Jason DeVos. Up towards Mathy, who slides it through to Easton, and it was just taken off his toes. That's a back pass, surely, and it's been given.
Well, it's another potentially controversial decision for Mr. Robottom there. I'm not sure if it was the Dundee United player or the film player. Yeah, it's a pass back, all credit to the referee. He got it spot on there. It needed the replay, but this is interesting. How many times do you see this hit the charging men? We saw an unusual one today, Ian, in an earlier match where they decided just to blast it at the wall and hope for a deflection going in.
It always takes ages to sort this out, doesn't it, as well, because everybody starts coming off the line.
Well, who's sitting it? Is it Dodds? He's just going to have to hope for a chink.
It's going to be Dodds, and it didn't find a way through. There was no chink in that black and white wall, and it was a rather predictable outcome.
Yeah, I think at times, Ian, when it's that close, I don't think you need to roll the ball back to be shot. I think you could just smash it right at the wall, and surely to goodness it's got a more than even chance of hitting one of them and ending up the back of the net. You'll see it here again. The ball's rolled back to Dodds here. Now look, there's no real chance of getting it through there. I don't understand why they don't just run up. Look at that. I mean, I think Billy Dodds thought I was in an eclipse there with that running up.
We suddenly had 11 players very near him.
Yeah, just thinking at times, why move it? Why not just smash it at the wall and hope? And you get a deflection when they're at least 6 yards away.
That's one way of answering what is a problem free kick. Although it's so close to goal, too close. Siggy Jonsson now, inside the final quarter of an hour. Stuart Petrie. And Matthew won it back. Here's Jonsson. Joe Miller, that went out. Bert Payton will be extremely animated for the rest of this game, you can be sure. Paul Sturrock hasn't tasted defeat too often since arriving at the Dundee United helm. Just twice, in fact. This is his 10th game in charge.
Yeah, Bert Payton wears his heart on his sleeve. You can see all the emotions coming from him. He realises how big a result this is. It fired Dunfermline back level with Aberdeen United. Not away from the bottom.
Andy Smith, that was rather disappointing. And the Dunfermline skipper. The Martin O'Neill school of manic managers on the touchline now and again. Knocked away by Jamie Squires. Mathy, sure to be a big hit with Dundee United. As long as he doesn't stumble too often.
Yeah, he's a bit lucky there, Ian, and you mentioned earlier Dunfermline haven't scored 3 goals in a game this season. I've still got a feeling they might need to get a third goal to make all 3 points safe.
Greg Shields, Rangers man with the throw, Olofsson. Patterson. Dodds to Easton. And now Pasquale. And it just trickled away from Dodds and through to Butler. Scored twice against Estonia for Scotland last month rather, Billy Dodds in the European Championship qualifier. And then got one also against the Faroe Islands, but he'll be suspended. Scotland's next Euro 2000 qualifier against Bosnia in March.
Well, Billy is always dangerous. You always get plenty of work rate from him. He's very dangerous in that box. And even with 12 minutes to go, he'll still be thinking that he can snatch not one, but maybe even 2 goals for United.
He was offside then. A lot of Aberdeen fans rather sorry to see him go. Andy Smith. Todd. Squires. It's going nowhere.
Well, Dunfermline have knocked it about well tonight, Ian. I've been impressed with them. They built up a reputation in Scotland of being a long ball team, but they've played a lot of good football this evening.
Dundee United are taking off Shell Ollison, and they're going to bring on Stephen Thompson in their quest to salvage something from this game. The 20-year-old makes his 7th substitute appearance of the season, and will he be the saviour for Dundee United?
Another very promising youngster. He's scored a couple of times. He's a good, strong attacking lad, and that really is the last throw of the dice now for Paul Sturrock.
Matthew to Dodds. Craig Ireland stepped in, now McCulloch. And that went out off Dodds, so it's Dunfermline's throw. Malpass. Dodds. It's going to drift out of play as we enter the final 10 minutes. All the goals came in the first half. Dundee United could do with another one coming in this second half. Malpass will get there ahead of Smith. And Smith's challenge will result in a free kick.
Yeah, Morris showing his experience again, and he's sliding in from the back. You see it there, yep.
Almost encouraging the challenge, Malpass.
Yeah, used it every bit of his experience there. It's another solid game, Morris. But his team trails, and he'll not be happy about that.
Pasquale, swap sides. Smith and Todd is going to go in with it. And it's come rather invitingly to David Graham, who tucks it through looking for Smith, but put it to DeVos, who was alert to the danger. And it's not a bad pass either to Stephen Thompson, who tried to pull down Jamie Squires' shorts then.
Well, it was a good tussle because I think Squires had a little tug at Thompson first. But we're going to see an end-to-end last 10 minutes now. Dunfermline go for a killer goal. United try to get back on level terms.
He's checking how long's left. And he knows it's not long. But it'll probably feel long to him.
Yeah, Bert Payton knows that this 3 points is going to be massive even at this early stage of the season. Give his team confidence to go on ahead in the winter months.
Siggy Jonsson, who Arsenal and Sheffield Wednesday fans will remember. Kept in play by Smith. He's only got Graham with him at the moment. Pass away to Patterson, cancelled by Petrie. Joe Miller and to Paddison, who will be heading off to join the Northern Ireland squad after this match. Pasquale. Dodds. Couldn't quite pick out Miller. McCulloch in the way. And now here goes Petrie. That's some run. What can he do with it now? He'll win the corner.
And Dunfermline will be happy with that. Petrie, very strong running wide man. Took it down to the whole length of the park. He's got a corner. And more pressure on United. Dunfermline, as we know, very good at set pieces with plenty of aerial power.
It's Petrie then to swirl this one in. Contact wasn't made, and Jonsson picked up an injury in the process.
Well, Siggy Jonsson got whacked in the first half as well. It looks like another painful one. Ball long in there. Up goes Andy Todd. Clatters into Jonsson, who, if I'm not mistaken, was also injured in a head knock last week, or the week before, when McCulloch of Motherwell was sent off, Ian.
Indeed, last week. Siggy Jonsson has had his injury problems this season, but he'll be alright after that whack.
Yeah, the two number 4s clattering into each other there. And he doesn't look too worse away for it.
Kempton's his country these days, Siggy Jonsson, Icelander. Five minutes remaining. Is there going to be a twist in this tale? Easton got whacked that time by Craig Ireland. Or rather, Matthew it was who got clobbered.
Well, there's not a lot on it. It's accidental, because you can see Craig Ireland's got his eye on the ball there. But it was a free kick. United come forward.
Miller. That's what they want in the middle. And they've got yet another corner. Shields put it behind.
Yeah, Greg Shields, good covering at the back there, because the boss was coming in there with Thompson.
Up go the heads. And a foul given against Dundee United. It must be so difficult sometimes for the officials to spot what goes in on there when corners come in.
Well, there's that many big lads in there. But it's a needless foul there for Craig Easton. He's let Dunfermline off the hook. 4 minutes or so to go. The EastEnders here are singing and maybe anticipating a much needed victory. Ireland.
It's going to drift out of play. And there'll need to be a little urgency about Dundee United now. If it stays this way, Dunfermline will join them and Aberdeen on 14 points. Meantime, it's Dunfermline who are threatening. And it was a decent run from Richard Hutchford, but nothing at the end of it. Shields. Pasquale with the foot in. Here's Hutchford though. And DeVos. From Dundee United's point of view. Good job he stopped that, because Andy Smith might have been away. Easton finding the sub Stephen Thompson. Now Pasquale. Thompson. Andy Smith, another useful sliding challenge. All Smith's been hurt then, as DeVos nipped it out of play.
Yeah, it's a good challenge from DeVos. He gets the ball, but Andy just catches his leg in between the big Canadian's two legs, and he slides in here. You'll see Andy's Left leg just getting caught there. Hopefully it's not too serious. But when somebody like Andy Smith stays down, there it is, you just see his left foot getting caught there. It must be a sore one.
It is a nasty one, and they're calling for a stretcher. It was a meeting of the two powerhouses, DeVos and Smith, but it was a good tackle, but unfortunately Smith's shin was wrapped between the Canadian's legs.
Well, the way he was holding it, he knew right away there was pain in there. You only hope that it's nothing too serious for Andy. He's an inspirational figure for Dunfermline. Club captain, top goal scorer last year. Immensely popular with the fans. And let's hope for everybody concerned with Dunfermline Football Club that it isn't anywhere near as bad as it looks.
Well, he'll have to go off, but they found someone just as tall to bring on. Chris Templeman, 6'3", 18 years of age, and quite a bit expected of this young man. He was man of the match against Dundee during the season in Dunfermline's only win to date. It looks like they might be looking forward to future meetings with the Dundee clubs if their second win of the season comes against Dundee United. It's a sad end to the game though for a man who always gives his all.
Yeah, big Andy, he's still in pain there, he's holding that shin. The ankle, hopefully it's just twisted. There's maybe no ligament or bone damage down there. And he's back in action as soon as possible.
First touch for Templeman. Todd. We're into injury time at East End Park. And there'll be around 10,000 sighs of relief at the full-time whistle if Dunfermline can hang on here. Fairly bold team that they picked, but the only disappointment of the day, if they hang on, might be the sight of Andy Smith being stretchered off. If that is a serious injury. Here's Huxford. 4 minutes of added on time.
Yeah, still time for United to get this goal, but Dunfermline now hanging on. The fans are giving Andy a rousing reception as he goes round there. He'll what now is for the class to hold on and take all 3 points.
Templeman finding Shields. Here is Templeman. He may only be 18, but he knows what he's doing here. Wasting a bit of time.
A bit of experience there for the youngster. But United will launch this one downfield.
Templeman got back. Pasquale's free kick. McCulloch's header. Petrie. But in slides Darren Patterson. Another throw to Dunfermline, and they'll settle for that as the seconds ebb away. Ferguson. This time it doesn't go their way. Johnson. Away by Ireland. Templeman. Pasquale to Alex Matthey. Is there going to be a sting in the toe? Matthey has sliced that somewhat. How about a man of the match tonight then, John?
Well, I've been impressed with the industry of dodge and the work rate and finishing from Matthey, but for me tonight, it's a man who's been immense in defence for Dunfermline, but has got the all-important goal. It's Scott McCulloch, the left back, not only for the goal, but for a brilliant goal-saving clearance and all-round play.
Aberdeen have been showing a bit of interest. There's Templeman. Well, it may not be very enthralling at this stage of the game, but Dunfermline would be rather pleased to see it stuck down this end at the moment. Templeman. That'll be a goal kick, and it's going to have to be a big kick from Dijkstra. There's got to be no messing around here. It's bounced all the way through. It's all over, and Dunfermline have their second Scottish Premier League win of the season. Even though Alex Matthey turned tremendously to put Dundee United ahead early on, the Pars hit back and how with a wonderful header from Andy Todd and a fantastic free kick from Scott McCulloch, the man of the match, although rather harsh on Dundee United because a free kick given for handball when it didn't touch Siggy Jonsson's hand. Scott McCulloch wasn't too bothered by that. Alex Matthey showed why he's going to be a big hit on his return to Scotland, the former Ipswich man with a piece of clinical finishing. But this was some header by Andy Todd to level it up, planting it perfectly into the corner. And there's the handball that wasn't from Siggy Jonsson. Here's the free kick that most definitely was from Scott McCulloch. Relief all round for Dunfermline, who go level on points with Aberdeen and with Dundee United, dragging those two into it at the bottom. It finishes in front of over 10,000 at East End Park. Dunfermline 2, Dundee United 1.
Time to have a quick look ahead to what's coming up for you next week over on Sky Sports 2, and what a week it is. It's international football on Tuesday night from 7:30 as the England under-21s take on the Czech Republic. Then on Wednesday night from 7, it's a full international from Wembley. On Thursday night from 11:30 we have live international cricket as we begin our exclusively live coverage of the Ashes series with the first test between Australia and England. At East End Park tonight, a much-needed win for Dunfermline. They beat Dundee United 2-1, only their second league win of this season. Reaction to that coming up.